ever since Cedar Point opened what is highly considered the best roller coaster ever built, Tony Clark, Cedar Point's Director of Communications, teased that the park has even bigger plans for a coaster that will top Steel Vengeance, which leaves me with 4 very important questions. Is this project still on the table? When will this get built? What type of roller coaster, and where could Cedar Point build it at? Starting off with, is there still life to this project? And to really expand this question, we have to go back to when Tony made this claim. That's because it was made before the pandemic. Even though theme parks all across the world are seeing record attendance over the last year, does not mean that the parks are totally caught up from the losses that 2020 brought them. Every park in the world was affected by the pandemic and lost money. So if there was no pandemic, then I honestly think there would have been a very good chance that you and I would be able to wait in line for the front row of this new mega coaster coming this summer. However, with the whole dragster situation and all the rumors about what the Point has planned for this reimagining of their Strata coaster, I think this is a good thing for this rumored project. I predict that 2024 will be a record-breaking year for Cedar Point across all levels, which leads me into when we could see this project get built. Cedar Point is always thinking about marketing power and is very smart when it comes to adding new roller coasters. With that said, if Dragster just reopens with new trains, a new theme, and an LSM launch, then I think 2025 could be the earliest that we will see this project debut. Now, if we see an extended layout of some kind, which I have predicted all along and still do to this day, then I think we will see 2025 be an off year for the park. Maybe add a flat ride or something like that, with 2026 as the target date of opening for this new roller coaster. Now, before I get into the type of roller coaster I can see the park building and where Cedar Point has room for this magnitude of a project, be sure to check out themeparkmerch.com for some really cool coaster merch that I designed myself. And you're also going to get free shipping by using this code. So grab a cool shirt and help the channel out. I greatly do appreciate it. Now, let's talk about Cedar Point's future best roller coaster. We all know that Cedar Point has to be very strategic when adding new roller coasters to the park. And there are a few areas that could be used for this project. But from what I am hearing, we have to keep our eyes on this area. Now, you might think that Cedar Point will not remove Corkscrew, but here are 3 solid reasons why they could very well do this and do it soon. Number 1, we have to take a look at past trends for Cedar Fair. They definitely are not afraid to remove older steel coasters that cost a ton of money to operate. For example, Vortex and Firehawk at Kings Island and Volcano at Kings Dominion. And while you might think Cedar Fair would not remove Corkscrew since it was the first roller coaster to ever flip riders upside down 3 different times, I hate to break it to you, but that did not stop the chain from removing Vortex when opened in 1987, was the first roller coaster to flip riders upside down 6 times. So that argument is out of the window. Corkscrew has been in operation since 1976 and offers one of the least memorable rides at the park. Not to mention, it's located right next to the coaster that is going to be getting a complete makeover and name come 2024. We know that Cedar Fair as of late is all about revisioning the worst areas within a Cedar Fair park into one of the best, just like the new boardwalk area coming this year to the park. So what if Cedar Fair plans on doing this to the Dragster Midway for the 2024 season? Then in 2024, Corkscrew closes to make way for the new coaster. And number 3, you have to ask yourself, why would Cedar Point remove the Matterhorn and Scrambler? Sure, those 2 classic rides will really add a lot to the new boardwalk area, but what is the park planning on on doing with the area that the two flat rides were once located. There is always a reason for every move Cedar Point makes, and now this area with corkscrews is a massive piece of real estate. In fact, this area, as you see outlined here, covers 2.7 acres. And while you might be thinking that is not a large enough area for a new mega roller coaster, you might be surprised by this, because after pulling some measurements, I discovered that you can fit either Valraven, Raptor, or Gatekeeper all in this area with room to spare. So Cedar Point can do a lot with this area. Given the nature of my channel's name, not every video I create or idea I have is a prediction. That's because I love speculating and sharing my ideas of what I would do or would want for a specific park. So with that, I predict that Cedar Point's corkscrews days are definitely numbered, and I think it will be the next roller coaster to get removed from the park. I speculate and personally want a brand new record-breaking RMC T-Rex to be located in this area. A roller coaster so good that it will give Steel Vengeance a run for its money. I teamed up with Escape Designs and Elite Coasters again to bring this monumental roller coaster to life. And once you hear more about this creation, you're gonna love everything about it. With the max height of 265 feet, a length of 4,977 feet, speeds of 85 miles an hour, 5 inversions, and the steepest drop at Cedar Point, at an insane 101 degrees, this white knuckle throw ride will get your adrenaline pumping. With the project name Exorbus, which offers a storyline of a futuristic spaceport transportation depot centering around outer orbit transportation. The new roller coaster will be located in the new space-themed area that also features Dragster that would be renamed Polaris. Think what Kings Island did with Orion and the Area 57, but on a much grander scale. With bright teal track and steel gray supports, this new roller coaster will give the park again their sixth one over 200 feet tall. In order to fit in this massive new coaster, we would see some back areas get used and some maintenance buildings modified to make way for it. As you can see, this new roller coaster would really fit in nicely with the new Dragster Midway. Power Tower would also get a minor space theme overlay, and the Super Himalaya could also get relocated somewhere else in this new area. So, are we looking at the world's first RMC T-Rex? As I've mentioned in past videos, I think we will see the first one get announced in 2024, with a very slight chance of later this year. But how will this RMC T-Rex be better than Steel Vengeance? Well, the level of intensity, the elements, 5 inversions, the airtime, and transitions, along with being much taller and faster, will do the trick. Riders will start off their journey into space with a 265-foot tall lift hill. As you take in the views of Hotel Breakers and Lake Erie off to your right and Millennium Force to your left, your anticipation will build as you climb higher and higher. As the train crests over the top of the lift hill, you will experience the best first drop at Cedar Point, with a drop height of 258 feet and dropping you at an angle of 101 degrees. Riding in the back row, you will experience life-changing airtime going down that first drop. From there, you'll take on a speed ejector airtime hill, then an Immelman that offers a barrel roll down drop, a off-axis airtime hill, followed by an off-axis twisted double up. Just when you think the ride could not get better, you then fly through the cutback stall, then a wave turn, a beautifully paced Raven turn, followed by 2 airtime hills, and a new element that Elite Coasters came up with, a twisted snake jump. Throughout the ride, riders will pull 4.1 max vertical Gs and be wanting to get right back in line after their 50-second ride, drop the brakes, is over with. Overall, while shorter in length, this new roller coaster could easily become the ride that takes the title for Cedar Point's best roller coaster. If you are interested in checking out more footage of this project, then be sure to check out Escape Designs on YouTube. Also, check out Elite Coasters as well, because he has some amazing coasters he designs and no limits. So what do you think about this creation that we came up with? Do you think this would be better than Steel Vengeance? Also, when do you think Corkscrew is going to get removed? You guys know what to do. Please let me know in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Remember to smile today, think positive, and keep riding coasters.